What's up, Hannah? So I've been living in Portland for about 2 weeks now. This is a city that if you split it all up among all of the residents, each person would own about 1 square foot of space, so naturally we're all living on top of each other. As luck would have it, I stumbled upon this book at Goodwill the other day that describes my situation perfectly. The Human Zoo is this book by a zoologist named Desmond Morris. It's a follow-up to this really famous book he wrote called The Naked Ape, where he looks at human beings objectively as if he was looking at any other animal. The Human Zoo focuses specifically on city dwellers and compares their behavior to that of animals in captivity. But wait, first, how did we even get into this zoo? For millions of years, human societies didn't exist in which every member of the tribe didn't personally know every other member of the tribe. When the group got too big, it would splinter off into other groups because there was enough room per person that expansion wasn't a problem. Using their abilities to cooperate and plan ahead, these nomadic hunter-gatherer tribes covered most of the globe before anything even resembling a modern human settlement appeared. And then people started farming, and for the first time ever there was more food to eat than there was people to eat the food. So people could do other things besides trying to get food, like writing down laws or pretending to talk to gods or creating vlogs in peanut butter. And then finally, like 3,000 years ago, some Sumerian guy was like, hold on, is anybody writing any of this down? And it turns out that they weren't because writing hadn't been invented yet, so then they invented it and took the pre off of prehistory. And basically ever since then we've been dealing with the consequences of trying to shove a bunch of little tribes together into something that Desmond Morris calls a super tribe. A super tribe sounds pretty cool, but in a lot of ways it sucks because in a super tribe you don't personally know the people who are going to be affected by your actions, so there's less incentive against antisocial behaviors like crime, so we have to relinquish some of our power to abstract ideas like gods and states in exchange for security. By the way, it's interesting to note that as a population becomes larger and harder to control, its gods naturally become fewer in number and more powerful until the pantheon has to collapse into one all-powerful being. But even with these grand unifying institutions like religion and government, people have still not evolved enough biologically to shove off their tribal instincts. So within every super tribe are countless smaller sub-tribes. These exist in a variety of scales, and they can range from all of the fans of one certain sports team to the alumni of a school to a book club. These all help to fulfill our natural need to belong to something tangible. The unfortunate flip side of belonging to something is that it usually means you're excluded from something else. All the symbols and rituals of any club or culture serve two purposes: to isolate it as well as identify it. So is all of this behavior just some unnatural side effect of overpopulation, or is there actually a reason behind it? I would argue there is a reason that we're drawn to the city. Our desire for novelty and exploration can actually overpower our desire for calm and peace. And even though cities can be breeding grounds for neuroses and bad attitudes, they're also hotbeds of new ideas and forms of expression. In a way, a super tribe is just as natural as a tribe itself, and humans are just these animals with this ability to imagine an environment, create it, and then pretend that they lived there all along. So yes, it's kind of a zoo, and my cage isn't very big, but there's a beach over there and there's a mountain over there, and I'm free to leave whenever I choose, so right now I'm not complaining. Take care, Hannah.